gonna make this video and I'm gonna record it. I can't promise you I'm not gonna make another one today. What is up? Excuse me. Up. What's up, fans? I hope and pray that I don't have to make another flipping video today. Actually, you know what? I do want to make another video today. I want to make another one because that means that the Miami Dolphins hopefully have signed a corner or made some type of move to continue to fortify this team, and we have somewhat of a competent, competitive team. Yeah. So, but today we were talking offensive line. Now, I was going to make this video on Tuesday, and then we got bombarded with things that I wanted to talk about. So, making it today. Friday will be defensive line. Monday will be pass rushers. The 11th will be linebackers. The 14th will be corners, and the 18th will be safeties. And then the camp position battle series is done. Also, tomorrow I'm doing the Q&A. So if you want to be part of the Q&A, you have to go to the tight end, like potential tight end, whatever. The first video I put out yesterday, put your questions in there, Q&A. Or you know what, screw it. You can put it below here, but you have to put Q&A in front of it so I know to find your question. Also, I'm going to ask people on Twitter to do it as well. One last thing before we jump into this. I got trivia for today. What uniform number did Dolphins defensive tackle in Super Bowl 7-star, 17 tackles, Manny Fernandez wear? What jersey number did Manny Fernandez wear? So we are talking offensive line, and this is kind of what it looks like. Now, this is the offensive lineman that we have, right? We got Patrick Paul. Your starters look like it's going to be, now they have James Daniels at left guard, even though technically James Daniels mostly only ever played right guard. So it looks like it's Patrick Paul. I think it's Jonah at left guard, Aaron Brewer. Then I think it's James Daniels, and then Austin Jackson. Those are your starting five, right? It'd be shocker if those guys aren't your starter five. And if one of the other guys behind, which we will talk about, upset them and make the team, not make the team, but make the starting rotation. But as of right now, Jonah has not signed his rookie contract. But I also want you guys to understand and know that only 2 second-round picks have signed their contracts, which means there's 30 other second-round picks who have not signed their contracts because they are kind of somewhat trying to get fully guaranteed contracts, which is new. Only the first rounders normally get fully guaranteed contracts. Second rounders get mostly fully guaranteed. Like, I think like 4 of the 6 million was fully guaranteed for, I don't remember who it was, but you pick up what I'm putting down. But you're looking at the starting offensive line, and I do feel better about it. Obviously, having Jonah there, James Daniels, looking at this starting offensive line, it's not that bad, right? You don't have a big question mark at one of the guard positions, whether it's Wynn, whether it's Liam Eichenberg, whether it's somebody that we don't know, Robert Jones or something like that, sitting there, right? Austin Jackson, hopefully the man can stay healthy. Hopefully he can produce the year that we gave him a contract extension, because he actually played pretty well there. And then Patrick Paul, hopefully that man, I think Patrick Paul is who I was talking about. Obviously sitting right there in front of me. He only got like 4 of his 6 million who's fully guaranteed. Patrick Paul has a good year. Now, I'm not expecting Patrick Paul to have a Teron Armstead year or expecting Patrick Paul to be Teron Armstead, but I just want him to be a second-round pick worthy play at left tackle in 2025. So that's your starters. Then you see everyone behind, right? You got left tackle, their depth. Again, this isn't the Miami Dolphins depth. This is ESPN's predicted depth. We will get the Miami Dolphins first depth chart, I think, before the first preseason game. Oh, it's getting close. I'm very excited. We're gonna watch football with our own eyes. You got Ryan Hayes, Keon Smith, and Teddy Cushy are your backup left tackles. Then you have Cameron Jackson Carman and Josh Preby as the backup left guards. You have Aaron Mayer and Addison West, Andrew Mayer, not Andy, whatever I said, Andrew Mayer was the backup last year. Liam Eichenberg is the backup right guard. Liam Eichenberg, for all intensive purposes, is your number 6 offensive lineman as of right now. Larry Borum, Braden Daniels, I cannot speak today, and Marin Matos, Baron, I don't know what's going on with me. I apologize. Matos are your backup right tackles. Now, obviously, you have a lot of undrafted free agents in there. And it seems like, from what I know and from what I've heard, and obviously we've heard Greer talk and all these guys talk, there are guys that they like, right? Larry Borum is a free agent that we brought in. Liam Eichenberg, obviously, we brought back. Keon Smith is somebody they like a lot. Ryan Hayes was a former 7th round pick, I think, a few years ago. Outside of that, in even Braden Daniels probably is, in the good graces, and Andrew Mayer are in the good graces of the team to be backups. So you're looking at guys like Teddy Cushy, Byron Matos, who is exempt. So I think he's going to make the roster regardless of what happens. But you have like Josh Preby, Addison West, guys like even Jackson Carman, who struggled when he had to play right tackle against the Houston Texans. Those are guys that are going to have to compete, right? Like, in all honesty, I think the backups are going to be Larry Borum, Liam Eichenberg, Keon Smith, and Andrew Mayer. I think those are going to be your backup offensive linemen. You're going to have Keon Smith be the backup left tackle. You'll have Larry Borum be the backup right tackle. You'll have Liam Eichenberg kind of be that guy with the guards and even possibly center. And I think you'll have Andrew Mayer be your backup. So Jackson Carman, Josh Preby, Addison West, Braden Daniels, and Teddy Cushy are your guys who are going to have to compete to make this roster. And like I said, Matos is an exempt because he is an international player, so he gets that exempt roster spot. But this offensive line needs to do something, and this offensive line, like, obviously you guys have heard me talk about, yesterday's video, the first one, I talked about the Dolphins should add a tight end, which they did, and Darren Waller, big old shocker with that one. And if you went and watched the Dolphin Collective, we got some very good insight from Omar Kelly talking about why Darren Waller walked away from football, a lot of mental health, a lot of substance abuse, stuff like that he had to deal with. And, this seems like a testing ground, and I'm going to make a video talking about potential free agent or still needs of the team. I think that's going to come out maybe next Tuesday, Wednesday or something. But I wanted a tight end and we need a corner. And for me, it was always offensive line depth, because you look at who's behind your starting 5 and it isn't great, right? You're looking at these guys and God forbid someone goes down, then all of a sudden you have Liam Eichenberg come in. You have all these guys coming in, and it's not great. So you look at offensive linemen that are still out there, and there's some good guys. There's some good, like, legit starting caliber offensive linemen that are still out there, like Dalton Reisner. You can go pick him up. They're showing his market value is around $3 million. Go out and get him. Will Hernandez is still out there. His market value is $4.2 million. Go out and get him. Brandon Scherfs, he's still out there. There are still guys out there who, even Cody Whitehair, who could play center as well. 1.8 million is what they're saying there. There's still guys out there that can very easily come in and be depth pieces. Obviously, they're not practicing, and no team has picked them up. And all of a sudden, we have more of a competition, right? Because God forbid, it's the NFL. I'm going to knock on some wood again. It's the NFL. If to expect all 5 of these offensive linemen stay healthy for 17 games is a pipe dream. Same thing with the defensive linemen, which we'll talk about Friday. So for me personally, I think they still need to go out and get one. Again, I named them. If they can go out and grab Brandon Scherf, Will Hernandez, Dalton Reisner, or give me, even Jack Driscoll did well when he was with the Dolphins, and then they cut him, and then he went with Philly and got a Super Bowl ring. But, like, there's still good guys out there that could come in and be productive. So it's very interesting to see what the Dolphins are going to do if they stay pat at offensive line. I think what you're going to see is maybe like the first couple of weeks of training camp, you know, the first padded practice. And I'll tell you when that is when I do my training camp preview video. That'll probably be on the 21st. Talk about like what you can expect, the rules, how many times they can practice, how many times they need to have off, when they can have padded practice, how many padded practices they can have. There's a lot of rules and regulations that go into training camp with the new CBA. But I think that's when you'll start to see, okay, we need some help here and help there. Because if you notice, when they were doing the blitz package in the second day or third day of mini camp, they were getting torched. Potential sack, interception. It was bad. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt. They had no pads on, and having pads on makes a big difference for the run. To get a good understanding of the run game, how the linebackers play, how the defensive line play, and how the offensive line plays, pads have to be on. Now, with the quarterback, the wide receivers, and the corners and the safeties, pads don't need to be on. You're looking more at a coverage basis. You're looking at more of, you know, because we're not tackling to the ground, and with the quarterbacks, accuracy, ball placement, reads, all that stuff. So we'll get a better understanding of what we have at an offensive line padded practice, and then you'll probably see some moves made. Maybe someone will get cut, and then they'll bring in somebody, and a lot of moving pieces. Also, there'll be a lot of moving pieces from other teams, so we'll keep an eye out on all these other aspects of things. But as of right now, looking at the offensive line, the starters I'm good with, right? If I had to grade the offensive line as it is right now, and to say Austin Jackson and James Daniels comes back completely healthy, I give it a solid B offensive line. I wouldn't put it top 10 offensive line in the NFL, but I'd put it probably like mid-tier, 16th ranked offensive line. I think it's pretty good. But there's the big fat question mark at Patrick Paul. Outside of that, and Jonas Avayanea, who we don't know what he's going to be. He's a rookie. But outside of that, James Daniels has proven he's good. Aaron Brewer has proven he's good. And Austin Jackson has proven he could play well. So we'll see how all this pans out. But for me, obviously the point of this video and the competition is the back end. These guys. Not these guys. More these guys. And like I said, to me, if I'm a betting man, Keon Smith, Liam Eichenberg, Larry Borum, and Andrew Meyer are your guarantees that are making the roster. Everyone else, you're competing to be a backup or hopefully on the team, if not practice squad. And that's an uphill battle because you normally don't bring that many offensive linemen into the roster or into the start of the season, because you're looking at what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 offensive linemen. It's an uphill battle. Maybe even Braden Daniels might make it. And obviously Matos is exempt, as I said, 400 times. Comment below, what's your thoughts on the offensive line? As of right now, looking at the starting 5, fully healthy, what would you grade it? Who do you think is the backups, competition, all that stuff? Comment below. I will see you tomorrow with the Q&A video, unless news breaks again, and I'll see you later today. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.